What's up, everybody?
My name is Anthony Irvin.
You beat yourself?
Yeah,
Yeah, CB myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm Jim Green.
Don't even need a hit of traffic light.
Okay, good.
Welcome to.
One set.
Have you ever wanted to start your podcast but didn't know where to start? The One Set Bros are here to talk to you about Zencastr. Zencastr is the ultimate-based podcasting solution and now the all-in-one podcasting platform, making podcasting easy. They've sure made it easy for us to be able to record our podcast and our episodes every week for you guys. Once you've set up your account, you're simply one click away from recording a high-quality podcast with studio-quality sound and up to 4K video with your guests. My personal favorite feature is their multi-layered backups, which ensure our recordings are always in the highest quality, even during unstable web connections. And if you thought you needed multiple tools and services for your podcast, Zencastr's all-in-one podcasting platform allows you to create your podcast all in one place and distribute to Spotify, Apple, and other major destinations. Go to Zencastr.com/pricing and use our code OneSetPod, and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. I want you to have the same easy experiences we do with all our podcasting and content needs. It's time to share your story. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode of the One Set Podcast. My name is Anthony Irvin. I am one half of the One Set Podcast. Actually, as you know, Jim is on a temporary leave, so I wanted to come on here this week and get some things off my chest. I had a busy week, and also from last week, we actually had the first Eagles game of the season, and man, it was a nail biter, just like any other Eagles game. And you know, I have some shows coming up. I just started putting in my live looping setup, and I'm going to talk about, you know, some new rig stuff that I just got that I'm going to implement into my next couple gigs. Probably not this upcoming one, but I have to do some tweaking. But before I get any further, I just want to get all the things out of the way. If you're here for the first time, thank you for tuning in. To all our OGs, thank you for being back here again. We love you. And make sure you guys are following us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and right here on YouTube. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you can be notified when we upload, and you can follow us all at the handle of One Set Pod. That's the number One Set Pod. And make sure you also, if you want to check us out outside of our episodes, hit us up on our Facebook group, the One Set Fam Facebook group. It's where we all chat and have a good time. We talk wrestling and any conversations anybody wants to have, but it's mainly been wrestling for a lot of wrestling talk. We got a lot of wrestling fans in our group. So make sure if you want to hang out with us outside of these episodes, that's the place to be. So so this Eagles game was everything that I probably expected. Now, was it the prettiest game? No. It started off with, you know, Jalen Carter getting ejected, and that is the biggest controversy over this whole thing with, it's obviously photographed on videotape that Dak Prescott, and whatever you want to say, he initiated it. He spat down at Jalen Carter. He didn't get spit on like Jalen Carter did to Dak. Now, I'm not advocating for the fact that, no offense, that's the biggest disrespect to anybody, getting spit on or spitting at somebody. I feel no matter what, that is the biggest disrespect. He shouldn't have done it. I'm all for it. I'm all for, you know, doing things for rivalries and everything, but that is a big disrespect. Jalen Carter, as a professional, should have known better than that. And he shouldn't have even been within feet of that huddle. There could have been also another leader on the Eagles who should have seen Carter and said, hey, we know you're a hothead. You need to get back here before something gets going. So he got suspended for the game. Now the big controversy still around, and it'll probably still be determined up until the Chiefs game this week whether Jalen Carter is going to be suspended for the next game. I personally think, uh, you know, since he lost the whole game in the first game, that should take care of that suspension. That I don't think there's a reason to suspend him for another game. Fines, that's understandable. Finding him for like an extra thing or something, whatever. But if it happened halfway through the game, then yeah, he probably would be facing a second game suspension. But he didn't even take a snap, so he's already one game behind everybody else. So he's going to be coming in this week, having to start out the season where everybody else is kind of a game ahead. Everybody's warmed up, ready to go. So we'll see how Jalen really is affected in this Chiefs game. But hopefully, that's a big lesson to him, and that he is a big portion of this team, and that he needs to learn from this and just cool his head. That and knowing that that kind of puts him in a position for other teams to be like, hey, we know he's a easy target. If we need something, we can always just try to get in his head, because if he's easily targeted to do something like that, who knows what they can do. So hopefully he learns from this and he can get his things under control of what he can do. But as far as the game, Jalen Hurts to me looked wonderful. He scored the first touchdown for the Eagles for the season. He actually got 2 rushing touchdowns for the Eagles, and he went 19 for 23, 152 yards for the game. While if you're comparing QBs, I just have a little thing up here, and I'm not much of a stats guy, but I'm just looking at these things. Dak Prescott went 21 for 34 attempts with 188 yards. So Dak threw the ball more and got about 30 more yards, but if you're and I'll take this as, in my respect to Jim right now, if you're looking at it in a math perspective, 19 for 23 looks a lot better than the 21 to 34 in a mathematical completion thing. So I would say, even though Dak won the attempts, Jalen was more accurate with his throws because he didn't throw as much, but when he threw, 9 times out of 10, he was making those completions. So, who won the quarterback game? If you're thinking of a mathematical portion and how the game, how they played, I would still think Jalen Hurts won the QB race for that. But I will give Dak Prescott, some credit that he did come in there ready, knowing that last year he was injured. He, halfway through the season, got injured. So he came into that game ready to go. You can tell he was on the sidelines pumping his teammates up. So I will give it to him, the fact that he was ready. He knew what this game meant, and he tried everything he can do. Now, on the fact that CeeDee Lamb, thank you for actually giving up the game for us, because if it wasn't for CeeDee Lamb missing 2 or 3 of those last catches, it would have been a different game, knowing that it landed at 24-20. So those last couple of minutes were very crucial. So, and CeeDee Lamb was killing us most of the game. So, and our defense, we still have a lot to work on. Like I was saying, we lost a bit of our defense, and we have to, start rebuilding, and getting everybody on board to how that was kind of working last year. Now, in a football stance, I'm not sure if you kind of take everything you did from last year and just copy paste, or you just, you're basically, going through a whole nother playbook or something. I know we have a new offensive coach, but our defensive coach is back, so I'm not sure if they really do a copy paste from each year, but I'm sure they do, run new certain defenses and acquire certain things. But knowing that you have a decent amount of new guys on that defensive side, everybody's got to mesh, everybody's got to get in tune. Now it's one game, we have 17 more to go. For what it was, we won the game. A win is a win, so that's good for me. But I was surprised we really didn't get much from our receivers. I mean, AJ Brown was very, very quiet in the game. He only had that one reception for 8 yards, but it was a big play. So when he was targeted, it really was a big play to push us into that definite win spot. And I think we did get a good catch from Devontae Smith in the game. I know Goddard had a couple good plays. Saquon Barkley, he ran for 60 yards with 18 carries, 1 touchdown. Coming from how what's his name on the Ravens? I'm spilling a blank, but I know who. Henry. Rushing for 170 yards this week. Whew, my God, dude, the dude's a beast. But it all just takes the one fumble that he had that just screwed up the game. So that 170 kind of fell down in him in the fact that he had that one fumble and it screwed up the whole game. So Saquon Barkley, he's fine. I think he had a decent game, just still getting warmed up. Everybody was hoping to have, a lot of marquee moments with him. But again, it's the first game. And again, a win's a win. So we have to just, take what we learned from this. And we have another big game this weekend against the Chiefs in the Chiefs Stadium. So that crowd is going to be out for blood because they are just, dead set on what happened in the Super Bowl last year. And they should be, because they're going to be out for us. And we need to know that they are going to be as well. So everybody's going to be on, got to be on their top of the game. And I knowing from what happened in the Super Bowl, I'm not too worried about the defense a little bit, but even, the Chiefs weren't really all together on that first game. They really struggled against the Chargers in that game, and they ended up losing. So I was very surprised. So and again, they weren't home, but everybody usually plays better at home. But still, the Chiefs had a bad, or not even, I won't say bad. They had a rough start to their game too. So the two people that were in the Super Bowl last year, we got the win, they got the loss, but we both can say that, we definitely have some things to work on. And, everybody's going to be on their top game this week. Everybody knows the importance of it. So, I'll leave it at that. We're just getting into the, beginning of the season. Football's back. I'm loving it. And, looking forward to the Chiefs game this week, and we'll keep updated on some Eagle stuff. So I wanted to also talk a little bit about some of my gigs that are coming up. And, I have a topic that has kind of been circling around me and that I've been seeing a lot in the music community here, and how musicians feel about talent and, trying to be the marketer, trying to be, the person to bring out the people to your shows, and, learning your songs, learning all this and being the performer. You're just not one thing anymore. Where back then, like, if you were talented, you got recognized. Where today it's like, I feel talent only gets you so far. There's still way talented people out there, but if you don't have the following, nobody's going to know you. So, just to, scale back a little bit, since, being removed from my job about a month ago, now I'm actually able to play a couple shows, kind of helped me financially a little bit. And, you know, I started setting back up my live looping setup this week. Felt really good. I love doing this so much because, you know, I grew up playing in bands. So this is, you know, my one man band, you know, performance show. So, you know, it took me a little bit to get back in the rhythm and finding my settings and, you know, doing stuff. So it took me a day to kind of, you know, get adjusted and everything. And now I think I'm tuned in and dialed in and everything. So I'm trying to learn some new songs instead of just playing and rewatching a lot of old songs that I was playing. So I'm trying to add some new songs to my repertoire while also polishing some other stuff. And, you know, it's just been fun. I love the fact that I can, you know, do this live looping thing and, you know, take a sound, loop some other things, and just become like a whole band instead of just being up there with an acoustic guitar and singing. You know, I love the fact that you can be able to just go up there with a guitar and sing and still move a crowd. But I think my thing and the creativity that I love is just being in a band. I just love being up there with, you know, the whole, you know, wall sound of music. So and I love the fact that everybody, and when I've been doing this, I've been getting a lot of good feedback on it that you know, people are really digging it. So it helps me to keep on knowing I'm doing something right. And, you know, I'm trying to continue to add some of my originals and making them somewhat into this one man band, you know, thing too. So I'm playing this week, and by the time this comes out Friday, you know, I'll be playing tonight. It's I'm going to be debuting at a new venue. It's called the Streetlight Kitchen and Bar in Drexel Hill. If you're in the Delaware County region, it's at the Drexel Brook, in a hotel right next to the Drexel Brook. The bar is connected to, I think it's a Holiday Inn. It's a Holiday Inn. And the bar is connected at the bottom, and then there's a patio out front, outside of it. I'll be playing on the patio, you know, as long as the weather is going to be okay. I'll be playing outside. Looking forward to it. It'll be nice. I don't get too many times to play outside. I was playing outside back in August when I was playing in Delaware, so that was fun. I thought I was going to be playing in a hot area, so I brought a fan, but I had a little cut to me, and so I had a really nice wind coming through me, so it was able to cool me off, so I didn't need the fan at all. So I'll still bring the fan this weekend just in case I'm out there, and, you know, because I'm not sure if I'm going to be having something over top of me at all. So it's gonna be fun to get back out. You know, I didn't do my live man I didn't do my one man band in August. So just kind of getting back into the rhythm of, you know, gearing up, getting to a show, the whole routine of getting packed up, going to the show, loading in, getting everything set up, playing, performing, doing your thing, packing back up the car, going home, just getting that whole routine back. It always just sets me in a good mood. Like, I love performing for, like, anybody. It can be 2 people, it can be 100 people. I still love being able to perform for anybody. So after Friday, I will be playing at the Media Porch Fest again this year. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm going to be playing at my buddy Carl Park, his residence, and I'll link the location in the description below. So I'm going to be playing there from 4 to 5, but the whole Porch Fest is from 12 to 5. So I'm going to be playing last at that location, but I'll probably be there most of the time just to support the other acts and, you know, being able to talk to everybody coming around. So it's going to be a fun time. After that, next month in October, on October 3rd, I'm going to be going back to one of my favorite places to play, John Morton's over in Prospect Park. Can't wait to see my John Morton's family. Everybody, when I'm going there, everybody's always fun, has a good time. Looking forward to going back there. And then I'll be returning there next month, that following month in November on the 21st. To John Morton's, but before that, on November 1st, I will be playing the Delco Quarantine Open Mics 4th anniversary festival, the Delco Fest, and I played the very first one, and the last 2 I wasn't able to play, so I wanted to try to make sure I wanted to try to get on this one. So I'm trying to, this is going to be the Delco Quarantine Fest is going to be a shorter set. So I'm trying to be able to have everything set up really quick so that all I have to do is just start playing. So I might try to just, suggest, hey, I'll have my stuff up really quick and maybe put it to the side or something. Cause I think it's a big stage if we're playing outside. It might be a decent stage. So I might try to set up to the side of everybody. So then all I have to do is just, plug in and go. So I'll see. I'll have to talk to the organizers and try to set up something because I want to be able to put in my one-man band performance, but there's a very small window of setup and teardown time. And there's no way, and I think it's like 5-10 minutes. There's no way I can set up everything here in 5 to 10 minutes. It usually takes me about 30 to 40 minutes solid to probably set everything up. So if I'm going very, very quick. So I would definitely have to set a couple things up before my set and then, just push everything over, get everything dialed in and start playing. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to, seeing, a lot of the people from the Delco Quarantine that I haven't seen in a while. It's always fun to, chat with those people. And on December 6th, I'm actually going to be also debuting at another brewing company in Claymont, Delaware. And I'm sorry if I butcher this name. Oppo the Curry Brewing Company. So I haven't heard the actual name yet, but phonetically I'm saying it. So I might be butchering it a little bit, but it's in Claymont, Delaware. Again, it'll be in the description of the episode here, all my links, and I'll give the link to my gig page. All the information will be in there, and I'll be playing there from 7 to 10 o'clock on a Saturday, December 6th. So that'll be fun, and I think this is probably somewhat close to the area that I played back in August. I was playing in Wilmington, so this is in Claymont, so they're roughly around the same area. Yeah. So with the fact that talking about talent, being able to be a live looper, you're constantly, not just thinking one thing, just you're not just thinking about learning lyrics, playing guitar, and singing. You have to be on the ball of, okay, click this, click that, turn this on, turn this off, loop this, loop that, sing, look at the chart to make sure you're on the point. If you know the lyrics, if you need help, you're looking down at the lyric sheet. And also now I'm mixing my own stuff. So if I need to adjust things, I'm mixing, I'm just adjusting levels as I'm going. And so it's a lot of different things that's going on in your head. But when you're looking at it, it just makes it seem like everything's flowing easily, but your mind is just racing of like, okay, make sure you're hitting this, make sure you're hitting that. Oh, make sure, don't forget to click that on in this time, don't forget to click that off. And, make sure that, the solo's coming up. Make sure you remember the solo. Oh, wait, how did that go? So there's a lot of things going on. And again, talking about talent, I feel today, in today's, social media driven world of the music industry, talent can only get you so far. And where I believe back in like about 15-20 years ago or so, talent was a big portion of a lot of musicians, and that's what really got them off. Even singing, being a singer, or just singing, playing guitar, that's great. But the thing is, I think it's today is, do you have a following? And that's the biggest question. And that's what a lot of, venues are always asking you now. Yeah, you're good, but do you have a following? So I feel that is a lot of the downfalls of a lot of musicians today. There's a lot of talented musicians out there, and there's a lot of talented musicians that I know that don't even play out, and they're amazing musicians, but they just probably, one, for the simplest fact they just could never see themselves playing out in front of people, and that's a definite thing. But then also some just don't have a following, and some people just don't take social media serious. They just do it for the love, which I do. I definitely do it for the love of it. I can care if I have millions of followers or just one. um but it's just the fact that there's so many talented musicians that never get discovered, uh, and that's even crazy to think. But I think, especially today, that there's such a stamp on like how many followers do you have, how many people can you bring out to this thing. You know, I just miss the fact that what about just pure talent and the fact that, hey, this guy's good, I want to bring him into my venue, and I know if I bring this guy in, people are gonna like him. There's instances of people that do that, that will give chances to people, but most of the times out of 10, with a lot of small venues and bars and certain things, they usually won't. And again, I'm not talking for the places that I've played or people that I know. I'm just talking in general, that there's sometimes people that won't even talk to you if you don't have X amount of followers on Facebook or Instagram. So if you don't have a built-in crowd, or if they know you're not bringing X amount of people, they won't even talk to you. So it's just sad to see that not a lot of people get their chances because they don't have X here or this there. I just wish it was just based off, you know more based off talent than uh you know the image and how many followers, how many posts do you do? Hey, are you posting about your music? Are you doing this? How many followers do you got? How many streams do you have on Spotify? That's another one. Another thing, your music streams with original musicians and even cover bands too. Uh your original musicians trying to get shows. Oh, what's your following and how many Spotify plays do you get a month? If you're not getting thousands, you might as well not even, you got to bump up the numbers in order to just even be, recognized with certain bookies. So there's just so many things that you have to be now as a musician. Uh, and again, that's just the ever growing thing of music, where back then, we didn't have social media, so it was just, hey, you play guitar, okay, practice, 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 I want to get as good as I can so then people can recognize me. Now it's like, you don't have to be a great guitarist, but if you know how to get followers, in hell, you can buy followers today. You can make yourself look like you have a million followers when you don't really have the engagement, but you could buy followers. You can buy engagement today and make yourself look like you have a really big audience. But if you're trying to organically do that, that doesn't happen overnight unless you just get a big viral clip. And 9 times out of 10, sometimes that virality doesn't last forever. It's a very small glitch of something. And not many people know how to go off of that virality and keep that going, because they're just like, oh, I got that one video, but now what do I do? So I've had, and even on this podcast, we've had a couple big videos. Our biggest video on YouTube, what we usually put on 45, 30 and closer to 1 hour podcast videos here. And our biggest viewed video was a 5-minute video and got 20,000 views. So and it's crazy how algorithms go, and that's another thing. Just the algorithm. Everybody's so obsessed with the algorithms today, and there's just so many things that people worry about, but they just forget about the music, about just being a musician and writing music and writing good songs. you know uh it's And we'll be talking something different in another 15-20 years about music, and how this point in time was old, where when I was growing up that talent meant something, and now talent doesn't, and it's more social media. And now you know once, my kids are older, it's going to be a whole different thing as well. So it's amazing how, you know, things change, but music still stays the same. People still make music, and people still get discovered. And there's also people that never get discovered, and they may have been making music forever, and they just never usually get their break. That's with anybody, though. I mean, same thing in Jim's dance world. There's so many dancers out there that they dance for years and they may never get a break, or they dance for years and they just finally get a break at their older age. So it's just a waiting clock. And there's been times now where I've set my mentality of like, again, when I was a kid, I wanted to be touring the US and doing all this stuff. Once I realized when I was hitting 25 and 30 and I was barely even getting out of my tri-state area, I'm like, and I didn't have opportunities to be trying to tour, I'm like, probably touring the US is not going to be a reliable and realistic thing at this point. So, and I don't take it as downgrading my goals. It's just more setting myself back to reality of like, what are my realistic goals at this point? And it's to the point where I just want to be recognized in my community at this point as a musician who works hard, writes good music, is a good standout guy, and tries to help out people in our community when I can. So if I can get, you know, a group of people that know me as a musician and, they respect me as a musician, know that I work hard, and they just can say like, "Hey, Anthony is a great guy, and you know what? If he needs your help, he'll be there for you." I would be happy with that. So I'm going to continue making music, whether I have millions of followers or if I just don't even have a following, whether people watch me or not. I still live stream my shows, whether there's 0 people watching or if there's 10 people watching. So, it's not going to stop me from performing. And I'll stop doing music when it's no longer fun for me. And that has not set in my mind yet. So I'm going to continue. I can't even think of my life without music. It's something that's been instilled in my brain and my lifestyle since I was like 12, 13 years old when I started, playing music, and eventually around 14, 15 being in my first band. It's been all I've known is playing shows, writing music, and, just doing the thing. So I don't know what my life would be without it. I've taken months off of certain things, but I can't imagine taking years off and selling my gear and not even thinking about music anymore. And now, uh, even now, I've started, doing a lot of music production, and that's been a newfound love for me too, of being in the producer chair, uh, with the client that I have been with. I'm not going to name his name because, I'd rather, I don't have his permission yet, rather not. But the client that I have been working with, we just got done recording his 5-song EP. So now I'm in the mixing stage, and, I'm really happy with how things are starting with these songs. And it's really given me a new love and, you know, love and appreciation for music producers and the steps that they go to. And I've been in studios where I have been the recorder and going to record music with producers, so I kind of knew how to record myself. But learning how to mix and master, now I'm not saying that I'm the most I'm not the best in my field, but I think I know enough to at least make, maybe if not pro quality, it's better than a demo, and it's going to be as pro sounding as it can be. So I take a lot of pride into the last 2 clients that I had. And uh, I think this is something that if I ever stop playing shows for some reason, being a music producer will be able to fill that void. If I, God forbid, cannot play shows ever again, if I can still be a music producer, I think that will be able to fill the void. It's definitely given me a new aspect of like, almost life after playing shows. Cause, there could be a time in the next 10, 15 years or something, maybe sooner, that, it's like, hey, I think this is kind of getting to the point where, you know, you can't keep doing this, or something's got to end, or just, you know, playing not as much. So, uh, you know, knowing that I can still do the music production, and I can still not even just record other people, I can just be down here and write my own music, and I can still, you know, throw it out from time to time. So again, there's no way I can't not think of music or be involved in music for the rest of my life. There's always going to be something I'm going to be doing music wise. So, you know, what do you guys think of the fact that, you know, do you feel talent is, you know, not as important these days as it was back in the early 90s and 80s and all those, and what do you think about the fact that, you know, it's, if you were a listener, if you saw a musician and, you know, he only had 200 followers, would you listen to him? Or if you saw a musician with 1 million followers, obviously you're going to listen to him. You're like, oh, he must have a following, he must be really good. But the question is, if the musician with 200 followers, you know, had everything, he had the image going, he seemed like he had everything dialed in, but it's, you just saw the link that says, hey, click here, my new single's out now, but he only had maybe 200 to 500 followers, would you listen? That's the question that I'm going to leave for you guys, and maybe I'll even put that in the chat for this week, for this show, and you know, that'll be a fun thing. So if you guys want to be involved in that, make sure you guys are following us in the chat of the One Sit Fam Facebook group. And before I sign off here, make sure you guys hit us up on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and right here on YouTube. Hit that notification bell so you get notified when we upload every Friday, and usually we've been doing Mondays as well. So again, hit that notification bell so you'll be notified. All at the handle of One Set Pod, the number One Set Pod. Guys, thank you all for being here for another episode of the One Set Pod. I will be back next week with more. I'll be doing some more wrestling talk as we prepare for WrestleApalooza. It's going to be a fun show. I'll be breaking down some predictions, so look forward to that, and I will see you all next week. This has been One Set.